Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. I said I was going to do a solo video about this, and I know that Jake Paul said that give him 2 years. He said he'll fight Canelo, and he says that he'll take Canelo out after watching Canelo's poor performance versus Dimitri Bivol, where Canelo was thoroughly dominated and lost the fight. Well, here's the thing. Jake Paul is not Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol is a skilled fighter, you know, and Canelo is a skilled fighter. But just looking at Jake Paul's performance, and I'm not worried about people saying, "Hey, you're a hater" and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. I don't care. I'm gonna say what need to be said. I'm not worried about your little backhand comments and all that kind of stuff. You know, it is what it is. But Jake Paul, on his best day, couldn't beat Canelo. He's very when you see it and think about it and watch him fight and seeing how he looked in his other fights, he's mechanical, doesn't have the best footwork, doesn't have good punch placement. He just would be food for Canelo. He would be a lick for Canelo. And Canelo wouldn't even get any credit whatsoever. They would laugh at Canelo, and that would probably hurt Canelo's, and it would be a stain on Canelo's resume, even though Canelo has a few stains on his resume anyway about some of the questionable competition that he's fought. But it does nothing for Canelo. And if I was Canelo, I wouldn't even waste my time. I would just laugh at the fact that anybody would ask me to consider fighting Jake Paul. It would just be a money grab for Canelo, and Canelo has been one of them guys that has painted this image of himself. It's about fighting the best, and it's not really about the money. Well, okay, well, if that's the case, rumor has it that they kind of want you to take a pay cut for your next fight versus John Ryder in Mexico. And behind the scenes, rumor has it that Canelo is hesitant about taking a pay cut. Now, we don't know how much the pay cut is allegedly for, and I use the word allegedly because I'm saying it could be true or it may not be true, or it might be slightly true or slightly false. So, I don't know. But I will say this. Just looking at Jake Paul and looking at his lack of skills, once again, you saw it yesterday. All he was doing was looking for one punch to end the fight, and he couldn't do it. And I'm going to be honest with you, if Tommy Fury actually trains and there's some, work on a couple of things and he's more fluent with his flow of punches, he'll destroy Jake Paul. He'll beat him even easier in the rematch. Because there was a lot of missed opportunity with Jake Paul. One, how he moves his head. There's just certain, like a real smart boxer would break him down and destroy him. But no, Jake Paul has no chance versus Canelo. And we need to stop this nonsense. We need to stop putting this out there, even enticing Canelo of even wasting his time fighting somebody like Jake Paul. Yes, it would be probably a substantial payday for Canelo, because I think people might get sucked in. Jake Paul's fans might actually get sucked into believing that he has a chance versus Canelo because he's bigger than Canelo. But yeah, just watching Canelo, and envisioning him versus Jake Paul, that would just be disastrous for Jake Paul. When I say that Canelo would demolish him, and I mean Canelo would hurt him really bad. I'm talking about Canelo might break his ribs or break his face. So I don't care for Canelo versus Jake Paul fight. I don't think it's going to happen. I think based off what's currently going on in boxing, I just don't think there would be real interest in that, because I think people don't want to tell the truth. They know Jake Paul can't beat Canelo. They know it. They know it. I think Canelo knows it. And I think deep down inside, Jake Paul knows it. I think Jake Paul would be just strictly doing it because it would equal it would equal a big payday for him. You talked about him making probably maybe a lot. So yeah, I just don't see it happen. I don't see it happening. And I think people need to tell the truth about how bad Jake Paul looked in that fight. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, it's your boy Town Biz. I'm out.